What's up, everybody? The Boogeyman is out. It's time to review it. Let's go. Now, before I get started, I need to talk to some of you. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. I see you guys on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram saying, oh, all PG-13 horror movies are horrible. That's not true. Okay, there are a plethora of PG-13 movies, horror movies, that were very effective. So if you weren't going to watch this movie because it's PG-13, I implore you to think again. Here goes my review. Number one, I'm going to say it. I think this is the best horror movie of the year so far. I've seen Evil Dead. I've seen Renfield. I've seen Scream 6. I've seen Megan. And there was one more that's escaping me. That might be it. Anyway, I've seen a decent amount so far this year. Boogeyman was the best horror movie that I've seen so far this year. Let me explain why. So, for me, if there's a razor-thin storyline with scares, the scares are not as effective. If there's bad acting with scares, the scares are not as effective. That doesn't mean the horror movie is not good, right? There are levels to horror and there are levels to ways to scare. What works best for me is when I am thrown off because I'm so into the story, I'm so into the characters, or I'm so into the acting. One or all the above. In this case, this is a very gripping storyline of loss that you feel for the family and the people involved. So when the scares come, sure, they would have been effective on their own, but they almost become secondary to what's actually happening. Now, there is a drawback to this movie. There's the same critique I had of Smile last year. When they reveal the actual creature, I don't know what it is about it with me. It takes away, because realism is what really scares me. Once you take the realism out of certain things, it's still a good movie. It still was effective, but it lowers the bar a little bit for me. The last act of this movie was a little bit of a letdown for me, but everything leading up to that, I really, really enjoyed. For my money, this year so far, this is the best horror movie that you can see. And I'll stand by that. Now, I've been looking at some of the comments on various, social media feeds and such like that. And again, most of the critique comes from the fact it's PG-13. Now, you don't need blood and over-the-top gore to be effective. On the contrary, sometimes over-the-top gore and blood can also can be a detriment to the movie, because it makes it seem like what you're presenting is flat. So the way to make up for it is by throwing buckets of blood and gore into it, just to make it feel like a passable horror movie. But in this day and age, I feel horror has kind of grown, and it should grow into rooted in a little bit more realism, real characters in real situations that certain things based on the story have to happen to them. And I think this was very, very well done. I want to know what you guys thought. This is a nice quick video. I just want to tell you, if you're on the fence whether or not to see this movie, you should definitely see it. I've seen it. I want to see it a second time. I'll wait till it comes out on streaming or DVD before I do that. I'm not going to go out to the theater for it. But it was a very effective horror movie. And I personally feel you should see it now while it's in the theaters, because the surround sound, it's a better feeling. I love to see a movie in the theaters. I know we can wait for streaming. I understand all that. For me personally, the mass effect of a movie, especially a horror movie, is best seen on a big screen. That's my video, guys. If you have already seen it, let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. If you didn't like it, I want to talk. I mean, let's talk about it without spoilers. What didn't you like about it? Again, it was almost perfect for me until the last act of it. Other than that, very, very solid horror movie. Boogeyman, if you have not seen it, go see it. I'll see you guys next time.